Thanks for joining us on News Center Maine Plus. I'm Brian Yocono. Handling your IT needs as a business owner can be difficult to navigate at times, especially if technology is not really your area of expertise. It is Malinda's, however. Malinda Gagnon, CEO of Uprise Partners, joining us today to talk all things tech. Great to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
I want to dial back before we get too specific on IT. Let's say I own a small bakery. I may say, okay, I don't really have a technical business.
Sure.
So why should I care about IT though? What does that encompass?
That's a great question, and that's one that I think comes up a lot when people say, well, why do I need to have tech experts when that's not really the focus of what I do? And the answer to that really is technology helps every business these days. Even if we're working in an industry that is not technical, technology is really the backbone of running a sustainable, profitable, efficient organization.
All words business owners are focused on.
Yes,
right?
yes. So yes, if you're a bakery, you still need a point of sale system that works reliably, or else your customers won't be able to pay you and they won't be happy with their experience with the transaction. You still need a computer system where you run your books. You need applications to keep track of inventory, of course, of financials. Maybe you need a payroll system once you hire people. So these are all different ways that a bakery owner would be interfacing with technology. And all of that has to be stitched together and running efficiently to make that business succeed.
For it all to work.
Yes.
Probably, I imagine for a lot of business owners, it's the detail of the business that comes later. They want to focus on this is what I love, this is what I want to do, and that happens. So in terms of that, what are some best practices that a business owner should be thinking about with IT?
Sure. So in terms of IT overall, I think the best thing to think about in terms of your needs is how is your customer affected at different points of interaction with your product or service where they're interacting with technology. So start with that customer experience, because every business owner, that is the thing that is the most important thing to think about. What is my customer's experience? Am I enabled to deliver the best product or service? And when you ask yourself that question as a business owner, you'll uncover those critical points that technology interplays with that business. And that's a place to start. And then there's the back of the house systems that you want to look at as well. But I think starting there is a great place to start.
And am I enabled is a good way to look at that. Am I in a position to be the best service provider?
Yes.
That's very helpful. All right, so obviously you could try to do it on your own as a business owner. You could outsource it and say, here's all my IT stuff. How do you gauge that, of which way to go?
So it's really about the size and complexity of your business, of whether you want to try to do that yourself in-house or engage with a partner to do that. And the best way to think about this also is think of your IT support partner like your accounting firm or your law firm. So every business assesses this balance, right? When you have these areas of expertise that are really critical to having a well-run business, what does that balance look like? So as your business grows, maybe you decide, okay, now I do need maybe an in-house bookkeeper. But I know that it doesn't make sense for my accounting needs to also hire a tax professional, maybe a tax attorney, maybe someone who is experienced with sales tax. So these are all different areas of speciality that you need to run your business, but you wouldn't necessarily want them all in-house for that, mostly for that expense, but also it's really impossible for one person to have expertise in all those areas.
Right.
Well, IT is the same way, right? Your law firm is the same way. As you grow as a business, when does it make sense in your size and complexity to have in-house counsel or an in-house legal team? Most businesses have a law firm that provides them with all of that expertise. And in that law firm, you have different areas of specialization. IT is the same. So as you grow and mature as a business, maybe it would make sense to have one person on site, but it probably will make sense to tap into a partner that has all of those different areas of specialization under one roof. So with networking, with cybersecurity, with application management, with a support desk that's staffed 24/7, it's really hard and very costly to do that all in-house. So sometimes it's a blend, and some large organizations do all of that in-house. But it just depends on the complexity and maturity of the organization.
I would imagine there's also kind of a tipping point in a business of, I'm doing everything on my own because I'm getting started. And then, okay, if I farm this out, I can focus a little more on what I'm gifted at.
Yes, and that is the perfect inflection point and question for every entrepreneur to ask themselves of, you start a business to offer something that you can uniquely offer. So when can you, and usually it's a matter of afford, right? It's usually a matter of cost, because I think most entrepreneurs would say, well, if I have the funding, I would love to do that out of the gate
Right.
to focus on what I really want to be doing. Because when you're getting something started, do you want to focus on payroll? Do you want to focus on setting up your networking and your access points in your office, right? Your file storage, your backups.
And try to learn all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really key to figure out, well, what are those components that I need to get started? How do you build that foundation? Do those things that you're uniquely, qualified and bringing that value to, and find a great partner that can help you get all that rolling for you.
You mentioned find a great partner, and because it's very personal what you're talking about, farming out to people in your business. Yes. How do you find that person? How do you navigate the process of, I'm trusting you with my information now?
Absolutely. So the key thing is to understand what you're looking for and what you need. Now, you don't need to be an expert to do that. But say, I need my technology to do X, Y, and Z for my business, right? And then it's a matter of evaluating the comprehensive nature of whatever that solution is. So, the key components to a complete IT solution, you want to have someone to email or call when an issue comes up.
Point person.
Do you need that coverage 24/7? Do you need it during normal business hours? Find a partner that can give you that support that you need. You need networking support. Making sure you have access to the internet, right? Do you need wireless? All of that. Cybersecurity.
We've talked about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, huge one.
43% of cyber attacks happen to small, medium-sized businesses. And another unfortunate stat, 60% once there's a data breach, go out of business.
That large?
Yes, because
huge threat.
typically cyber attacks are attached to ransomware. It could be a combination of that, as well as the costly downtime that takes an organization offline. And then, customers may not have the confidence in the organization after that point too. So having cybersecurity experts, getting your applications uploaded for new employees, right? When a new team member joins, how long does it take them to get going? The quicker they can get rolling with using their computer, using all their applications, having the correct access and permissions to things, this is all part of what a provider can offer. So it really streamlines a business, keeps everybody productive, and keeps them secure. So
moving the business along.
Yes,
right.
and then references. I mean,
ask around.
Ask about all those capabilities, and then ask for references. There's nothing better than speaking with another business owner or business leader who's actually worked with that partner day in, day out, and they can let you know how that support has been.
And I think that speaks to the value of helping each other as opposed to competing. Like, this is an area we can help another business owner be successful. Let's do it. IT, obviously, and technology can change very quickly, and it is changing right before us. Again, for someone who IT isn't their gift or technology isn't their gift, how do you keep up with it? How to try to be aware of what you should be having next?
Yeah, I think a great thing to do is take a look at some different experts in the industry, follow them on LinkedIn, read their blogs. They're going to be surfacing things that they feel is most important for you to understand. Other publications that I think are really useful, if you listen to podcasts, Wall Street Journal has a nice tech podcast. tech news that's really great. Of course, what we're talking about today is great, and tuning into this, this series that you have, because it's trying to surface those points that aren't too in the tech weeds, so to speak, that people really need to be aware of.
And aware of knowing that there are questions to ask even. Just to know that this is out here, I should be inquiring about this. And just finally, along the lines of what you were just saying, preparing for the next step, how should I be looking ahead as a business owner of new needs coming or expanding those expectations?
In terms of new needs, I think cybersecurity is continuing to be a really important place for us all to focus on. Unfortunately, the criminal business of cyber criminality is a highly profitable one. It's not going away anytime soon. It's getting more sophisticated, and they're changing their game as we are adapting as technology professionals to meet these different attacks happening. So we all just have to stay ahead of that together. And there is a technical solution to that, of course, and there's also the human part of that solution. So we all have to be aware of what looks normal, right, in our daily interaction with technology, and where we need to pause to see if maybe there's a phishing email or maybe there's an attempt to get information that someone shouldn't. So cybersecurity is a big one. The other thing is how we are staying competitive and productive in our businesses with using tools in a more advanced nature. So we've talked about using AI. AI is really interwoven in all of our tools now. When I say tools, any application, whether it's word processing, whether it's a project management platform, QuickBooks, for your financials, it all is using AI, and it should, right? If there is something that's not using AI in some maybe even small way, they're behind, right? This is helping us all get ahead. But think about how you can use those tools to really be more productive, not to do the interesting strategic work that we're all doing, but how do we kind of do maybe those repetitive tasks, those things that we could automate a little faster.
Just let it happen.
Yeah, so we can move on to more value creation. So that, I think, is the key thing from a competitive advantage that we want to tap into.
Which is what it's about. You have to stay competitive to survive. Malinda Gagnon from Uprise Partners. Always great to chat with you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And thanks so much for joining us.